New York City correction officers are fearing for their lives following two attacks within a 24-hour period. Listen.
It can be scary at times. Safety and wanting to go home to my family the same way I came to work.
Now, despite the inmate population being at an all-time low, correction officers say violence is at an all-time high. Elias Husamudeen, the president of the Correction Officers Union, joins us this morning with a list of demands now for the city, hoping that they will listen. Good morning to you, Elias. You know, today is a sad day for New York City. It's 1 year, of course, since Junior Guzman Feliz was killed in the Bronx. And then yesterday we got word that one of those killers who was found guilty, Jose Muniz, attacked a correction officer at Manhattan Detention. What exactly happened during that incident?
Basically what happened was the officer was providing the services, and unprovoked, Muniz attacked him, saying, "I have nothing to lose. I'm never going home." And he assaulted him and ended up fracturing his back and dislocating his shoulder. Basically, these inmates, he shouldn't even be there. At this point, when the inmates are making statements in court that he has nothing to lose, and he's making statements, then he should be in Bellevue.
In court, he had pledged his allegiance to the Trinitarios after he was found guilty, but then during the attack, you're saying he yelled out as well.
Yes, he yelled out that he has nothing to lose. There's no reason why he should not be in a place like Bellevue somewhere, because obviously he's sick.
And this morning he was moved from Manhattan Detention to Rikers Island, GRVC.
Yes.
How is that officer actually doing this morning?
The officer, he's home. He's doing okay under the circumstances. I mean, you know, you have a fractured back and a dislocated shoulder. You know, there's pain. I was there with him at the hospital. And, you know, moving forward, we actually need to come up with a better way of housing these particular type of inmates for a safer jail.
Does he get special protection now, or is there more protection for him? Are there more officers on his case now at GRVC in terms of a 1-to-1, 2-to-1 ratio?
Well, he's in a more restricted unit, a unit that's actually more restrictive than the one that he was in when he was in the Tombs in Manhattan House.
Okay, so there was another attack, also a female correction officer who was choked by another inmate. That also happened on Rikers Island. But I want to get your take right now. 2 incidents in 24 hours. What are you asking the city to do? I'm
asking the city actually to for instance, people like the Speaker of the City Council, Corey Johnson, been very quiet. We haven't heard anything from him. We heard from him with the transgender inmate. We heard from him on other things, but we haven't heard anything from him concerning these 2 correction officers that's been attacked within the last 24 hours. We haven't heard, and what we're looking for, Dan, what we're looking for is real simple. Here it is. Right now, the inmate population is lower than it's ever been. So why don't we change the inmate to officer ratio now? Why should we still have 1 officer to 50 inmates when we can right now have 1 officer to 20 inmates? That's one thing. The other thing is we need a mental health facility. We need a facility to house these people where the mental health workers can come in, and if these people need to, whatever needs to be done to calm them down or to keep them under control, we should be able to do that.
If there are lesser inmates right now at Rikers, what are all of the correction officers doing? Because you haven't reduced the number of correction officers, so if it's still 1 to 50, is there less work to be done? No,
there's not less work to be done. Actually, we're at a point in history in New York City where, because we have this ratio, the amount of correction officers, we're actually in a position to provide the different type of services. If we're into rehabilitation, if we're into reducing recidivism, then we can now use the correction officer to do what correction officers are supposed to do. Assist in rehabilitating, reducing the recidivism rate, and providing services that the inmates go home better than when they came. But the problem is everybody's dragging their feet, and the only thing, for instance, in Albany right now, they're trying to pass a bill, HALT bill, that will actually have inmates like Muniz and this inmate out around this correction officer, around the other inmates, around the other civilians, more than they are now under the punitive segregation units that we have.
All right, well, my thoughts are with those 2 correction officers, and thank you, as always, for coming in to kind of discuss all of these issues right here. And the city, by the way, did give us a statement yesterday saying that they are going to rearrest and recharge those inmates, once again, that were involved in both of those attacks.